What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video. And in this one, I wanted to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvidia, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers, and break down what's going on with the economic calendar so far, and what you should be watching for as time progresses, and also what's going on with some new levels to be watching for on all these different tickers. Before I break anything down with all this information, before I talk about when Jerome Powell is going to be giving a speech for tomorrow, let me just mention a couple of things. I am firstly not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo with the link down below and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed up to 5 free stocks. The offer ends in 8 days from now, so check it out before they run out. Anyways, let's break down what's going on with the market. Looking at SPY, we had a very, very interesting setup for the day. I was calling out this channel that we were in, forming this flag, which led to a nice breakout in the morning, and SPY just continued to pump. In my video from yesterday, I called out that we had a bullish wedge potentially developing, and there was a possibility the market would try to push a little higher, at least for now. But I also warned you all that it's likely not going to be like a massive, massive pump to the upside relative to what we saw last week. It might just be a small one because we're approaching some tight resistance, and we also have Jerome Powell giving a speech very soon. So SPY, we saw some chop and also a nice break to the upside. We're still technically within these ranges, so just be very careful around these levels. But once again, what's going to happen with Jerome Powell? So for today, we had some Fed speakers in preparation of Jerome Powell's speech. Basically, we had Barr, Jeffrey, Waller, and Williams all speaking from the Fed alongside Logan. And they've, for the most part, been quite, I would say, a little bit more on the dovish side. A lot of them are saying that the Fed should just pause where they're currently at. The market is liking that so far. And the 3-year note auction was actually very close to what we saw before, a little bit lower. So that was a little positive for the markets. So far, these Fed speakers have helped the market pump alongside some technicals. But now the question is, what's going to happen for tomorrow? So for tomorrow, Jerome Powell is giving a speech before the market opens, 15 minutes before the stock market opens. He's going to be giving a speech. He's going to be giving some opening remarks at the Division of Research and Statistics Centennial Conference in Washington, D.C. So when Powell speaks, I know he's giving opening remarks, and many people may kind of trivialize this and say that it shouldn't be anything too big. There is truth behind that, but the thing is, the last time he gave opening remarks, this moved the market. It caused the market to shake and actually drop a bit. So I'm not saying it's going to happen this time again. I'm not saying it's going to pump us or dump us really hard, but there is a risk of the market making a move based off what he says. So you just want to be very careful. For the most part, he might not say too many crazy things, but he could say something about current monetary policy. He could make a comment about the economy. And when he speaks, the whole market moves. So you just want to be very careful to see if Powell causes some kind of pump or if he causes the market to dump. We don't truly know, so we're just going to be very careful with this. So right now, okay, the market's open. The market is going to close for retail in about an hour and a half from now, or maybe 2.5 hours from now. So the market's about to close. You're not going to have a chance to exit any options or positions before Powell's speech besides this time right now. Meaning this is your last chance. You only have like 2.5 hours left until the market closes. And then Powell is going to give a speech before the market opens tomorrow. So if you want to just take profits, it's your choice. If you want to just keep holding overnight, it's also your choice. Who knows what Jerome Powell is going to cause? But from a technical standpoint, we are looking more bullish. SPY is continuing to make higher highs and higher lows, trying to break out. So we're going to be watching resistance from the current level at this 437.5 area. If we break this, we're going to head for 438. But remember, in this 438 area, historically, we have some very tight resistance. SPY has gone rejected off this level 3 times off big rallies, and this is historically a tough level to beat. So we have some very tight resistance in the 438s. If we get above 437.5, we could get there, and that's going to be very tough to beat. So watch it very carefully if we do end up breaking up. If we start breaking down, whether it's after Powell's speech or not, we have not only this 435.5 area to watch for, but if we lose it, we have the previous this channel right over here, which is going to be acting as our support now, which is going to be in the very low 435s. And if we lose that, the next level is going to be around this 433.5 area, right in the range from yesterday. If we lose 433, expect a bigger dump. As of right now, we haven't done that. So from a technical standpoint, we are looking more bullish. It looks like SPY is trying to continue to break out, trying to hold up. But we're going to be watching this tight resistance at 437.5 and 438. as of right now, it's trying to push up higher. So watch these levels very carefully. When it comes to the QQQ, this thing is also pumping, approaching Powell's speech. We actually went above 372, so even harder than what I was expecting, which is pretty insane. Aapl played a big role in this, and we're going to be watching this next resistance right here. We have 373.5. That's going to be a level to watch for, followed by 374 and then 375. Those are three levels which are very, very important. We're getting closer to some very tight resistance, however, so I don't expect this to remain extremely bullish unless Jerome Powell pumps us harder. So I think between 373.5 to 374, we have some very tight resistance. Let's see if the QQQ could try to break that. As of right now, it's going to be tough. And then for support, you're going to be watching 372.5. Then we have 371.5 over here, 371 flat, 370.5, and then 370 flat, followed by 369. So those are some supports to watch for. The QQQ is trying to push up higher. We're seeing some buyers stepping in, but watch that resistance at 373.5 or very close to that area. That is where we're going to see some chop around there is what I'm anticipating. But right now, it's still trying to push higher. It's still making attempts to go higher. So watch those levels as of right now. For Nvidia, I was talking about this thing trying to get above 460. I was talking about this yesterday, it possibly going up to like 462. That's almost exactly where it went to today. But I don't know if Nvidia is going to reject what it rejected in the past. So in the past, we saw Nvidia reject off 462. I don't know if it's going to reject there, or if it's going to be 465, because if we get above this 462 range and we get to the 463s, there's actually not much resistance, and we could actually get up to about this 465 area. So it depends on if we break or not. As of right now, we're kind of shopping between 460 and about 462. So it might continue on this trend. But if we lose 460, I'm anticipating this thing to come down to like 458 as the next support. If we lose that, you're going to be watching 455. And then below that, if we lose that, there's 452 and then 450. Right now, it looks like it may just range trade between these levels, be stuck between 458 and 462 and just go back and forth for the time being. It is trying to push a little higher, so we'll see if this thing can break 462 or not. And then don't forget, right, Jerome Powell is giving his speech before the market opens for tomorrow. If you want to hold any options through that, it's your choice. If you don't want to, if you think it's risky, you could also exit your positions. It's all your choice. I'm just here to give you the warning. He could still pump the markets higher. You never know. But at the same time, the opposite could happen. Who knows with Powell? As of right now, we're just watching these levels. Aapl, and then I'm going to talk about Tesla for the final stock right here. Looking at Aapl, we have 182 as resistance. This thing managed to go up to this target. If it breaks this, if we get above 182, well, we have some tight resistance at 182 from historical data. I would say that 182 is going to be key. We also have a lot of shop at around this 183 to 183.25 area. So the 183s are possible if we manage to break and hold above 182.5, but the levels are getting tighter on Aapl. So watch 182, 182.5, and then 183, that entire zone right there. Those are going to be some tight resistance levels to watch for. If this breaks down, you're going to be watching support at 181. If it loses that, which is like where we saw resistance just historically, I think it's going to come right back down to 180. If we lose that, then 178 is coming. We had a bullish wedge developing. I drew this out yesterday on Aapl. You guys could see it right here. And we got the breakout. I was calling this as a real possibility. I was thinking Aapl might help the market pump. This is part of why the QQQ is pumping. So the question is, will Aapl just chop around the 182 area for the rest of the day? Or are we going to try to break out higher? Either way, if it does try to go higher, since we're still looking bullish technically, it all comes down to Jerome Powell, what the guy ends up saying. So I can't really predict what he's going to cause. So we'll just wait and see. As of right now, however, we are looking a bit more bullish. Now for Tesla, we have a bearish structure that is developed on it, but Tesla is trying to rebound, is trying to get back above this 220 area, and it hasn't truly invalidated this head and shoulders. We have a left shoulder here. We have the head up here. Now we have like a right shoulder forming. Tesla is still in a very, very critical state. We're barely at 220. If we close above this, there's going to be some hope for it to try to get back towards 222, which is where we have this previous candlestick. There is hope for more upside if we manage to close above 220. If we fail to do so, there could be a big rejection. Tesla has been range bound for quite some time between the 220 area and about 215. It may remain in this range if we end up projecting off 220 again. But in order to turn really bearish, you want to see it break below 214. So far, it has not done that. We're seeing buyers still defending it. So we're going to be watching this area just to see how Tesla reacts. Right now, Tesla could try to hold up, but I believe that in the future, there's a risk of it coming down to fill the gap. It could happen in the future. We're just waiting to see if we get that confirmation of a breakdown. Hasn't happened just yet. So just I want to be patient and watch this range for Tesla. So watch this resistance right here. We have a little bit at 221, but it's not that significant. Then we have 222.5. Above that, we have this 225 area. Then we have 227 to 228. For support, now we're just above 220. So watch 220 as some support. If we lose it, it's going to come right back down towards this 218 area. 216.8 is next. Then we have the 215 range to 214. If we lose 214, we turn more bearish. As of right now, Tesla's still kind of range bound. It's making attempts to break out thanks to SPY and the other tickers, but just be careful. We have a head and shoulders like pattern, and there is a risk of the downside, which is still very possible. So we'll be watching to see what Jerome Powell causes if his opening remarks end up including something about the economy, because it could still affect the markets in Tesla. All right, so watch these levels. Just know Tesla's trying to push a little bit higher, but just be careful because, like I said before, you never know what Jerome Powell could cause for tomorrow. All right, the market pushing up with Aapl pushing alongside the QQQ and SPY. This is helping Tesla push up for now. Tesla was weak in the morning. It's starting to gain a little bit of strength, but just be careful and make sure you watch these levels and get ready for tomorrow. All right, guys, so do what you have to do. If you want to hold overnight, it's your choice. If you don't want to, it's also your choice. Do what you have to do and do what's best for your own portfolios. All right, guys, thank you. Have a good one and peace out.